Hello, everyone. My name's Can Opener Dude. I spent basically all day trying to figure out what I was gonna say. Start this video off, and I really I just don't know. For those of you who don't know what's going on, yesterday it was announced that Gambit's selling their LCS spot, which is it's another one of those crazy preseason changes. Everyone's moving around, all the teams are changing, and all this stuff, but for a lot of us who've been following the LCS for a long time, this is something a little bit bigger. Before Gambit was Gambit, the players were part of a team called Moscow 5, and this was a team that was for almost an entire year, almost the entire year of 2012, was considered the best team in the world, the heavy favorites for every tournament they attended. In fact, it's the team that got me really interested in pro League of Legends tournaments and the pro scene in general. They were they were innovators. They were the people that everyone looked at and said, "See, they're at the cutting edge of the game. They're finding new things out. They're testing new theories. They're counter jungling. They're making new picks. They're banning out the champions that they don't want to face so that they can play better instead of simply playing around what's meta." And they profited from it. They won countless intel tournaments. They won the regionals for that year for Europe. Uh, Even after transitioning into Gambit, the team, they were renowned as the Korean Killers. They were the only Western team, the last Korean team to take a series off a Korean team for I don't know how long. And in fact, they're the only Western team to do so until Origin did so in the Worlds this year, season 5. So for 2 whole seasons, it was Moscow 5 and Gambit. I just remember the first game I ever saw in its entirety in the LCS um, was the IPL Game 1 between Moscow 5 and Azubu Blaze. And I actually went back and I watched that game again. It's amazing to see how the game has advanced. It's amazing to see how everything's changed and the meta's evolved and different champions have come in and out of the meta. But what really hit me watching that game again is just how great this team was back in the day. How much they really did for the game. You can watch uh, you could just watch them as they play this game and just you could see the sparks that would be coming into you could see what was eventually going to become the metas today. You can see how counter jungling started. You can see how the invasion started. You can see all the pieces that start to come together to create what we now know as a standard LCS game, and they all have the roots in these strategies that Moscow 5 was one of the pioneers of. And it's incredibly saddening to me knowing that this organization that through Empire, through Moscow 5, through Gambit, that this organization, this core group has survived in some small form for this long only to lose out again to money. And because when Moscow 5 disbanded, they didn't disband because they were bad, they were losing. No, they were almost as good as they'd ever been. They didn't have the money anymore, and so Gambit picked up the players, but now again they're not. I don't know. It's a rough game, and I'm really gonna miss them. So I put together some clips of that IPL game, of that first game that I saw. Um, I saw Moscow 5 play in back back in the good old days, as it were, and watching Nunu be played support, watching Evelyn be played mid, watching old DFG just melting through everyone, and seeing some faces on both teams that would go on to bigger and better things, like seeing Lustboy playing support, seeing Flame back in the day. It was a really interesting game, and I put together some clips just so that you guys could share in a bit of what it was like to be back in that time and really see what it's like to live in the LCS in 2012. So I'm gonna go ahead and show those to you guys, and I hope that a little bit of what makes this team great comes through to you all.
By the red, he's got Nunu coming in as well. He does have the smite. Oh, and he's going to smite it. Helios now in trouble. Where's the cleaver at? There's the cleaver. First blood to Moscow 5.
And there you go, the aggressive counter jungling. That's that from the get-go. And the great thing about it was they had the 2-on-1 at the bottom lane, which means that lower jungle is theirs. Flame, oh, you're in a bad place right now. Ghost Pepper tanking the turret, making sure no one else goes down. And Genja picks one up 2-0 right at the start for M5.
What a brilliant start that one for now. But now Alex in all kinds of trouble. He's running to the wall, flashes over. Helios, so close to dragging him straight back through.
Got that long range effect in Cleaver. They've also got Genja on Corki. The pull hits onto Genja. He's got to run back. They're going to move in. Helios taking a lot of damage early on. Alex roaming around. Who's going to fall first? A nice crescendo goes off. There we go. Alex just picks up one, picks down, and Ambition's going to fall as well. That's 2 for 0. Lustboy caught an absolute 0. This is going to be 3 right here, and they are mopping up a Zubu Blaze. Captain Jack falls. That makes 4. And only Flame gets away from that fight.
What a fantastic fight there for Moscow 5. If you look at the health bars, they've hardly even lost health in that fight. Never mind playing. Signal for Alex coming from this side. Here we go. He's going to get in there. And Ambition is going to get popped. Captain Jack the second one to go down. Lustboy gets a crescendo across, but Helios tries the dunk. It's all in vain though. He's going to go down. Lustboy is low. Here comes Alex again for the quadra. Can he get the pentakill? Not quite. Gosu Pepper, in standard Gosu Pepper style, steals the pentakill away. But Moscow 5 going to take the Nexus turrets and the Nexus, and they will go 1-0 up here against the Zubu Blaze.
That was a phenomenal performance by them. They did everything right. They had good lane setups in the end. Yeah, they lost an early turret, but they picked up the kills. Their ganks were great. Their early game strategy so well orchestrated. And then aside from the one team fight at Dragon that didn't go so hot, they were always in perfect form in battles. That's the M5. They are great team fighters.